Okie dokie dokie dokie. Okay. It is shortly after 11. If all things work right, take the bike, go into Oostpoort, do my shopping, take the bike over to the thing. I'll be on time. Because I usually would leave at like a little before noon. But now that therapy's at, please tell me therapy's at 1. And I'm not stressing myself out for, it wouldn't be the first time I'm stressing myself out for no reason. Calendar. 1 o'clock. Yep. Okay. And then Aaron has his lessons tonight and all that jazz. So I gave Aaron the fob so he can go down and get himself lunch. And I'll just beep when I get back in. Beep 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 boop boop boop. And when you pick up the phone, like there's a freaking flashlight that comes out on that damn thing. Like, it's nice to know that, hey, we've picked it up, but it's still just like blinded by the light. And I got everything. The backpack's just gonna stay on. Much like what was going on with the thing. There's not much actually I'm doing today. But more fitness. Now here's the thing that I was saying on yesterday's video. I put that text in this morning. I had no intention of doing that yesterday. Anyways, it's not like I'm your typical WoW gamer, but I'm having physical complications akin to that. And it's not asthma because they tested that. And my breathing is perfectly fine, especially when I got that thing in my mouth. And maybe, much like one of our previous players went through some therapy for literally breathing correctly. But, I also talk a lot. And while I'm usually doing a lot of exercise, I'm talking. And talking and all that stuff does not function very well with measured breathing. Although that doesn't necessarily work at practice, though. But anyways, I'm going to put you in the backpack. I'm going to get into Oostpoort. But yeah, the comment from yesterday from one of my teammates, as I don't necessarily barble them all up and expose them. I mean, it was a compliment, but I still don't want to get in the habit of making exceptions. It was on the video where I was laying in bed Friday when I wasn't happy with myself. Stupid thing is, I made that video under the assumption that none of my teammates cared about watching my stuff. And that I tend to have a little bit of free rein to kind of speak my mind a little bit more. Still not going to stop me, but it makes me question some things. It's not that I talk bad about it, it's just that sometimes I talk a little too good about some of my teammates. And they may feel awkward that I'm misinterpreting something that way. Okie doke. Made a really long route. But the construction around here is a bit awkward. Like there's a whole ass gate blocking over there. So I gotta go this way. I think I've done like 7 or 8 kilometers or something like that. I did extra for hard exercise and also so that I could get some stuff on this 12K egg. Oop, tram time. Go up. Oh, that's light supply. Oops. Okie dokie. Oh, that car's backing all the way out of this road. Probably could. Yeah, that's still backed up down there. There's a delivery vehicle dropping off. It's fine, but So the theory that we're running is that some of my anxiety might be dealt in the fact that, like, on Thursdays, I deal with a lot of TikTok because I'm sitting around doing nothing. And TikToks fire random parts of my brain that aren't necessarily used in conjunction with each other necessarily, and it's very rapid fire and monotonous. So it can mimic anxiety situations when I have a medication that's supposed to be helping me with anxiety. Why didn't this affect me last year? Because I wasn't on an anti-anxiety medication last year. So, yeah, I'm going to get home because I got to have Aaron buzz the door open for me. I'm going to get some brewskis downstairs. But yeah, we'll talk more at home about what therapy was about. So, for those of you who may not know, let's see. Yeah. So, I was already well above my average heart rate of 147. I passed the average about 5 minutes into my 22-minute ride. Yeah. Fun times. It's not like I took a circuitous route, unlike previously. That was 8.27 kilometers. I went out and around. Anyways, so what we were talking about is that, like, TikTok fires different parts of the brain, and probably for many people, having an active brain like that can, and bouncing around and seeing different things can trigger kind of dopamine after a fashion. And it does, even for me, because it's enlightening, it's hilarious, but it's firing odd parts of the brain, because sometimes I'll get a SISU, or I'll get like Astro Kirsten, and then it'll move on to like Crutches and Spice, and I'm listening about politics and disability, and then we go to, I don't know, goats being weird, and then back to Crutches and Spice, or ADHD, and sometimes it's the motivational ADHD, sometimes it's demotivational, people sad about their symptoms. Then we move on to NFL, and it's like Italian American football, or German American football, or Danish American football, or Swedish American football, or British American football. Sometimes I get a whole string of that stuff, and that's fine. And then other times I get random Dutch kids thinking that Daily Paper is the best brand ever. Anyways, I picked up a sandwich here, and I have this. So it simulates anxiety. So one of the things that with the time change that happened at the end of October, and then getting used to that, and then having to deal with some pretty intense situations for normies. Because as she said, you didn't eat much at the sushi place. It's like bread and fruit, and then desserts after a fashion. And then, yeah, and not to mention it was not near my own place. I had to take a train to get home, and there was a bunch of people socializing with each other in a language I'm not naturalized in. But, and then the meeting, that sort of, she said that bowing out of that meeting was more self-care than defeat. Because, what would I have done? Picked up random bits of information, misconstrued bits of information, been much more lost and halfway thinking about what could to be doing instead. I'm just sitting here eating pizza, listening to a bunch of boys talk Dutch. This is basically TikTok. But anyways, so yeah, with the time change, I've been getting closer to waking up slightly before Aaron's alarms, but it's still not perfect. Because I used to wake up at 6:30, and his alarms would go off at like 6:50. It was just very regular, and now it's like 5:30, but it's creeping closer to, like this morning, I tapped my watch and saw that it was like 5:55, and I'm like, okay, that's good, but it's still like 45 minutes until this alarm goes off, or something. So I've been doing like, don't hold my thoughts and just sort of like rest. And who knows, maybe like she suggested that this medication could be doing like what Aaron suggested a while back. I say that like it was so long ago. It was like yesterday or the day before, that it's, my brain doesn't know what to do without the constant fight or flight. Like the anxiety medication is doing its thing, and I'm imagining stuff that's supposed to be going on. Like this is, like I'm supposed to be having this. What's going on? Why am I not having this? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And so, yeah, I need to talk about the whole, like, I should have brought that up, I forgot, about the happening Sunday morning. But even while that was happening, I was still thinking of that one guy back on the Monarchs and the Pit Bulls, who, like, before every game would just, he quit playing football after a while because his family was, like, hitting hard times or something, and he had to go put more effort across the, because we were in Portland and his family was down in like south of Salem, so it was like a bit far away for a commute, and he was already old enough as is, played enough football, he needed to go sort out his life. And I was like, totally fine, but yeah. So yeah, that was him, and I don't know. But that there's a lot more recently that she was reframing that sometimes that I need to be easier on myself, because it's not like I'm choosing the easy path. It's not like I was even given the easy path after a fashion. Being a part of many minorities, especially moving into a new one, there's a lot that makes people snap, and I haven't actually snapped. I'm just trying to figure out where I fit, and taking something that has ran my life for probably 30 plus years or less, like 20 to 30 years. We'll assume, we'll say by 15 is when that, but who knows. For most of my life is now not that much of a biological issue, not much of a chemical issue, and my brain is still trying to go through the motions of certain things when things happen, because it's going through the defensive ideas of like, oh God, we need to get used to this. We need to do this. We need to do this. We need to take care of this because this is happening. And I'm like, no, it's not. I need to take a step back and look at it. But in terms of like physical heart stuff, I don't know. Maybe I just do need to I just don't want to run at the gym, and I hate running outside, because the last time I tried to do that and work on this, I wound up passing out on a bench momentarily, and then came back here and couldn't even sit up straight. And I'd been doing it for a week. After 8 days, I was over here, I was just working everything up, I was pushing myself too hard, but I did feel like I was pushing myself hard enough. anyways, that's it for today. Tomorrow is probably going to be the gym, as there's literally nothing on the schedule for tomorrow. I need to eat and drink the tea because I feel dehydrated.